Donald John Trump, born on June 14, 1946, in the Jamaica Hospital in Queens, New York City, to real estate developer Fred Trump and Scottish immigrant Mary Ann McLeod Trump, became one of the most famous people in the world through a relentless combination of real estate ambition, calculated self-promotion, media mastery, and later political disruption, starting life as the fourth of five children: Mary Ann, Fred Jr., Elizabeth, Donald, and Robert, in a strict yet privileged household where his father was already a successful builder of middle-income apartments across Brooklyn and Queens, a man whose work ethic and sharp negotiating skills left a deep impression on Donald, who, as a boy, would visit construction sites with Fred, learning how to inspect buildings, analyze cost estimates, and understand tenant markets, developing an early fascination with deal-making and profit margins, though his youthful energy sometimes spilled into trouble, prompting his parents at age 13 to send him to the New York Military Academy, where he thrived in the regimented environment, rising to the rank of captain, excelling in baseball, football, and leadership roles, building a reputation for competitiveness and confidence, traits that would define him for life. After which he attended Fordham University for 2 years before transferring to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, one of the only colleges in America with a specialized real estate program, where he graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics, already set on expanding his father's business beyond the outer boroughs into the glamour and challenge of Manhattan, beginning by working under Fred Trump at Elizabeth Trump and Son, but showing an early knack for high-profile negotiations, seeing opportunity in the 1970s when New York City's economy was in crisis, property values were depressed, and developers were fleeing. Donald targeted struggling but strategically located buildings, most famously arranging a deal to renovate the failing Commodore Hotel near Grand Central Terminal into the Grand Hyatt in 1980, a project that involved persuading the city for a 40-year tax abatement and securing financing through Hyatt, turning the property into a gleaming success and announcing his arrival as a bold Manhattan developer, soon followed by his crowning achievement, the 58-story Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, completed in 1983, a glittering mix of luxury condominiums, offices, and high-end retail spaces with an atrium of marble and waterfalls, instantly becoming both an architectural landmark and a marketing powerhouse for the Trump brand, with his own penthouse triplex embodying the golden marble aesthetic that became his signature. And through the 1980s, Trump expanded his empire with projects like Trump Plaza, Trump Park, the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, and ventures into sports such as the New Jersey Generals football team in the USFL, each venture heavily publicized, with Trump mastering the art of generating press by making himself the story, whether through grandiose press conferences, public feuds, or strategic appearances in gossip columns. And his marriage to Czech-born model Ivana Trump in 1977 only amplified this image, the couple becoming fixtures in high society magazines and charity galas. But the 1990s brought turbulence as a recession, over-leveraging, and the struggles of his Atlantic City casinos led to multiple corporate bankruptcies, including Trump Plaza, Trump Castle, and the Taj Mahal. Yet Trump skillfully reframed these not as failures, but as savvy financial restructuring, keeping himself in the spotlight with tabloid coverage of his highly publicized divorce from Ivana in 1992, his relationship with actress Marla Maples, and his persistent appearances on TV talk shows, game shows, and even in films like Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, cementing his status as a pop culture figure. And in the late 1990s and early 2000s, he rebuilt both his fortune and his image, licensing the Trump name to hotels, golf courses, and products around the world. But his biggest resurgence in fame came in 2004 with NBC's reality competition, The Apprentice, in which contestants vied for a job in the Trump Organization. And Trump, as host and executive producer, portrayed himself as a no-nonsense tycoon, making "you're fired" a national catchphrase, with the show running for 14 seasons and dramatically expanding his reach to millions who knew him not from real estate but from television, during which he also published more books, including Think Like a Billionaire and The Art of the Comeback, reinforcing his personal brand as the ultimate deal maker, And as the reality TV spotlight kept him relevant, Trump began dipping more into political commentary, calling into news programs, speaking at conservative conferences, and questioning mainstream political positions, with early flirtations for presidential runs in 1988, 2000 under the Reform Party, and 2012 as a Republican. But it was on June 16, 2015, that he made the definitive move, descending the golden escalator of Trump Tower with Melania Trump at his side to announce his candidacy for President of the United States, delivering a speech that grabbed instant worldwide attention with its blunt language on immigration, trade deficits, and the decline of American manufacturing, launching the Make America Great Again slogan that became a political brand in itself. And from that moment, his campaign dominated media coverage, defying political norms by relying heavily on massive rallies, direct-to-voter communication through Twitter, and a constant stream of headline-making statements, outmaneuvering 16 Republican primary rivals by framing himself as the ultimate outsider who could not be bought by special interests, winning the GOP nomination and facing Democrat Hillary Clinton in one of the most contentious elections in modern history, with Trump's strategy focusing on swing states and appealing to working-class voters in the industrial Midwest, resulting in his stunning Electoral College victory on November 8, 2016, despite losing the popular vote, making him the 45th president of the United States and instantly elevating his fame from national celebrity to global political phenomenon. His presidency marked by sweeping tax reforms, aggressive deregulation, a reorientation of trade policy, including renegotiating NAFTA into the USMCA, a hardline stance on immigration, and a foreign policy characterized by direct summits with leaders like Kim Jong-un of North Korea, while domestically his constant use of Twitter to bypass traditional media, his rallies that drew thousands, and his combative relationship with the press kept him at the center of attention every single day, surviving an impeachment in 2019 over allegations related to Ukraine, continuing to campaign and maintain intense support among his base, then facing the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, which brought both criticism and praise for his handling of the crisis, ultimately losing the 2020 election to Joe Biden, but refusing to concede quietly, alleging widespread fraud and inspiring a movement that culminated in the January 6th, 2021 Capitol riot, which led to his second impeachment, making him the first U.S. president to be impeached twice. Yet even after leaving office, Trump refused to fade from the public eye, instead doubling down on his role as a Republican kingmaker by endorsing candidates, holding massive rallies, launching his own social media platform, and hinting at another presidential run, ensuring that his fame not only endured, but grew in political, business, and entertainment spheres, with his life story spanning the transformation of a Queens-born real estate heir into a Manhattan mogul, reality TV icon, and world leader, standing as one of the most remarkable fame-building arcs in history, powered by an unyielding drive for attention, a deep understanding of media cycles, and an ability to turn controversy into currency, making Donald Trump a figure whose name recognition, for better or worse, remains virtually unmatched on the global stage. A man who has managed to craft and sustain a personal brand that commands headlines decades after he first stepped into the public spotlight, and whose journey continues to be written in real time as he remains both a subject of intense admiration and fierce criticism, a living example of how relentless visibility, strategic branding, and a refusal to retreat can create not just fame, but a lasting and polarizing place in history.